Hello everybody, Hellcrux here. Welcome to another Mercenary Thoughts from the Inner Sphere, episode 400. Yes, 400 episodes in the series. Yep, another milestone has been clicked off. Yep, it's been years since we started this little series of videos. So here we go. Let's go. Alright, today we're going to be talking about the Snow Fox Clan Mech. Yep, a little 20-tonner. I'd say it's a pretty bog standard, average, low tech version of a clan mech. It's a quad mech. Yeah. Alright, it's 8-12-0. Doesn't have jump jets, but it does have mask for that every other turn boost of speed if you don't roll snake eyes. You can get this thing to get around pretty quickly, get across the board. Yep, for a 20-tonner. It has 4 tons of ferrofibrous armor, which means it's maxed out, which is good because it's 20 tons, you're going to need it. And considering that any type of weapon that does 10 points of damage will punch through all of its armor and get into the juicy parts. So speed is your friend. Now, weapon systems. We have an ER medium laser in the head, which, for clan is almost the equivalent of having inner sphere large lasers. Same range, but 1 point less and only cost you 1 ton versus 5. So there. Then we have in the right torso, that was in the head, the medium laser. In the right and left torso, we have 2 ER small lasers. So that's not too bad either. For getting out there and reaching, touching somebody, which, considering that, those are 6, so that's not far, but with your speed, you probably have a good shot of getting in close and being able to use them. Now, the one drawback with all this is that it has 10 single heat sinks. It's sort of a minor drawback, but a light mech, if you're not running using your maximum speed possible, you're a dead light mech. So you're forced to be having to use running all the time, but the heat isn't really going to be an issue because if you run and you fire the ER medium laser, that's 7 heat. You got 10 double heat, or not, single heat sinks, so you're not going to be heating up any. All right, so that's good. It only matters when you get in 6 or less. And then you're starting to throw in those ER small lasers, and then you're running, so you're going up 1 pip at a time. That's 4 more heat, so that puts you at 11. You can do that for 4 turns straight. And it's got to be a pretty target-rich environment to have to worry about firing all your weapons at every single turn for 4 turns. So, yeah. It's probably not going to be overly a big issue. So, yeah, you can get away with that. But if it had double heat sinks, you'd never worry about it. But, it really doesn't need it. And it comes in at 807 battle value. So it's kind of a cheap option to throw out there, but it's kind of like a fire and forget torpedo that you'd be throwing on the table. It's going to be rushing across the table and trying to hit targets, that are fairly close. And being that the one of the perks with this thing, it has a narrow profile. So if you don't hit it correctly with the let's see, narrow profile, if you I think it is if you roll the number or higher, that 2 above, you are able to have the damage to them. So, and then to say, let's see, an alpha strike, yeah, you get a +1 modifier to be able to hit them. So, yeah, it's harder to hit the target. So, with a narrow profile, yeah, you're going to have some minor penalties involved with that. But that keeps the damage down, which is necessary for a light mech to begin with. You want, hey, I don't want to get blasted off the table as much. Now, the interesting thing that I always consider with this mech, being that it's a quad, you can lose a leg and still stay stable. yes, you're going to be slowed down a little bit, but at least your stability is going to be like a normal mech with 2 legs. It's when you lose the second leg, yeah, then you're just like any other mech. You're going to go crash into the earth. But you have that stability check. It's like, yeah, oh, I took 20 points of damage, which on a mech like this, 20 points of damage. Woo! You probably got some holes in you. But, yeah, you're going to have that extra modifier for standing. So the odds of this thing falling over are greatly diminished until you lose a leg. But unfortunately, with the little bit of armor that you have, it doesn't take much because there's only 8 points of armor on each of the legs. So if you, let's see, what's the 4? So if you did 12 points of damage, you take a leg off. So if you hit him with an ERPPC, clan, or Gauss rifle from either Intersphere or the clan Gauss rifle, that'll take a leg completely off and you just lose that modifier pretty quickly. Now, how really you want to use this thing? They say it's mostly used for running around with battle armor as kind of like a watchdog, which I can sort of see, that being used. Because if you're facing off against mostly battle armor, yeah, you can hang back a bit out of range of their weapon systems and slowly plink away with that ER medium laser, overwatching your custodian of the armor. Now, if you decide to do those drive-by attacks where you can get the ER medium laser in range, yes, they're going to be shooting at you too, but you can do some damage to them and knock a few more down possibly, or just soften them up for other guys that are running around in the star. So you got that. So speed is your best bet, and trying to stay within range of the ER medium laser, and really stay out of range most of the time of the ER smalls, because it may be tempting to use them unless you got an opportunity to get in behind a fire support mech that's full of LRMs and you get inside its envelope where it's like having a hard time even getting a lock on you. Then I would consider maybe closing in and causing havoc to them. But until that point, yeah, situation kind of dictate. Just stay out of range with most of the shorter range weapon systems and just use your ER medium laser. You're just harassment plinker to begin with. Now there's a second version of this mech, the Snow Fox 2. This one was introduced in 3015. It replaces the lasers with an LRM-10. Keeps the speed, comes the battle value good at 604. So yeah, it's like battle value is about 200 less, 203 I think. But that comes at the cost of you have to take all the weapon systems off, plus you got to strip some armor off this thing. So basically it has about half the armor it used to have, and that's not a good deal. So if you look at the chart here for the Snow Fox 2, yeah, you get 5 armor, 6 armor in the torsos, 5 in the legs. Yeah, so, and basically a standard Intersphere ERPPC or PPC or an AC-10, doesn't matter what it is, or a couple ER medium lasers or just medium lasers, you're taking a leg off. And if you do 20 points of damage, the odds are you most likely could take out the torso. If it takes 11 points of damage, take a torso out. So yeah, this one is really denuded of any type of weapons capability getting in close without taking severe amount of damage and getting knocked to pieces. So you got an LRM-10 here, which is a good indirect fire weapon system. So I kind of envision this, you got 1 ton of ammo with this thing. So I kind of envision it getting in, rushing into a position really quick and then just blasting away with that LRM-10 to you. You're going click, click, click in 12 turns and you just go, okay, sorry guys, I'm gone, goodbye. That's kind of how I envision the this version. You don't want to close with it. You may even be able to park it behind a hilltop or something and just use indirect fire, using your elementals as your battle armor for eyes and ears or something of that nature. And carry, have your guys, somebody's going to carry the battle armor into the battlefield for you and then drop them off, and then you're just fire support for your battle armor. And then suddenly you're going, well, that was 12 turns aside, guys. I'm pretty much useless now. It might have been better to put like 2 LRM-5 instead of an LRM-10, save yourself a little tonnage, and put in like an ER small laser or something instead. Go that route. At least you'd have something to shoot with. That's kind of like what goes through what I'm thinking with it. So there you go. Now, we have a new version, the Snow Fox 3. All right. This one is a little different. This one has a XL engine, has ferrofibrous armor, Indo steel, carries a ER medium laser in the head. You got ATM-3 in the center torso, and I think we got 2 tons of ammunition. Yes, 2 tons of ammunition. So obviously you're going to have one of each. You're going to have probably the ER, and then you're going to have the HE to go with that. And so you're going to be shooting out to 27 or 9. Just depends on the weapon type of ammo. Typically, you're probably going to want something that's going to shoot out longer range, give yourself some support. And then you have a pair of, what was it, ER, not ER, what am I thinking? AP, got the right there. AP Gauss rifles for any personal Gauss rifles there. Get one in the right torso, left torso, and you have a ton of ammunition to go with that for, you're going to rock and roll for 20 turns, which is more than enough. And those things only go out to 9. Yeah, they do 3 points of damage, but it's good for supporting your infantry. They go in that route, or just cleaning up on the infantry. So it's one of those mechs that they finally got around and fixed some of the issues for, weapon systems, just by putting a few XL on board. And obviously with, it's clan, so you got only 2 in each slot. And it does have double heat sinks, so you got 10 double heat sinks, so you can dissipate the heat that comes with this. And it comes in at 903 battle value. So roughly, was it 2, or was it 3? 300. 300 more battle value. So more useful. It actually starts feeling like it's a clan mech. And it's 914. So with the increase of the tonnage from the XL engine, now you have, and they bumped it up to a pip more. Don't have the mask anymore. What's the need of the mask? Because you're not really, once you get past 10, you have to get up to 17 to be able to make an improvement to for another modifier. So if they did put mask on this thing, you could get that extra pip of 18. But now you have to, what are you going to pull off of it? Most likely, I forgot, it also has ECM on board, so it does a little bit of capability of protecting everybody, or shutting down C3 networks, etc., or taking care of Artemis issues in your little bubble. Now, not a bad mech. It actually, like I said, it feels like it's a clan mech for once, instead of an inner sphere mech that's kind of been. The other ones feel like a Clan 2C, a really bad design Clan 2C. This one feels like an actual clan light mech that, hey, that's what I'm typically thinking when I see clan mechs. And you're going to have the capability of having long range weapons. And in the case of Oh yeah, the other thing is that the armor value is just as bad. You know, they didn't keep the standard armor configuration of maxed out. No, this is similar to the previous Fox 2. So, yeah, I would probably almost have considered maybe only one AP Gauss rifle and put that extra tonnage into more armor. So that might have been a smarter deal per se. So, yeah, so you have a little bit of anti-infantry, but you have a little bit of long range, and then you got some medium range. But you have some armor to protect you in case somebody says, you know what, you look like a nice juicy target, and I got pulse laser, large pulse lasers, and a good pilot with a target computer. I'm going to erase you. So there. So that's the Snow Fox 3. Now, later on, they did go and make this an Omni-mech. You know, originally they thought about making it an Omni-mech, but they didn't. So the Snow Fox Omni configuration, this comes out later on. Obviously, it's going to be more expensive for battle value. Has 6 tons of pod space, equipped with an ER medium laser in the head, in each of the side torsos, and it's tied with a targeting computer. So there. And it has active probe. It's got ECM, has Indosteel, ferrofibers, XL engine, and mask. So this thing can kick her up some decent speed. Let's see, what's the rating of this one? Speed is 127 versus top speed 120. So, a little slower, just a bit slower. So it's a 711 with mask. Okay, so it can kick it up a little bit. Then they got a couple configurations with it. Configuration A has 3 LRM-5 launchers, which I said before. It's like, really, taking LRM-5s over an LRM-10 or an LRM-15 actually might be a better deal because, you know, the damage output's the same, but you actually save some tonnage. And it has 2 flamers in each of the torsos. Yes, this thing carries 4 flamers and 3 LRM-15s. Comes in at 831 battle value. And it has a single ton of ammunition to go with those launchers. So you're getting, let's see, there's 20. Yeah, that's not bad. 8. So, and it also has case bet because it's an Omni and it's clan. So they're not bad configuration. And with those flamers, that just screams at me, we're going to go in and just barbecue any type of infantry types. We're just going to cook you down. And it's like, yeah, unless you're salamander style battle armor, that's, yeah, you're going to get you're going to get cooked. And then configuration B, this is direct fire configuration. It has a single ER large laser in the head, a medium pulse laser in the center torso. Comes in at 1249 battle value. So this one is one of those configurations. Yes, it's going to get up there and rush by quickly and just keep punching out of good range. We have that ER large laser. Really, do you really want to close? You're going to just hover out there at longer ranges and long range, medium range with that thing and just hit you with 10-point shots if you can hit. Typically, it's like 20% chance at long range and you get to 40 at medium range and it goes up to about 60% at short range. So that's kind of like how I always look at, you know, what your odds of hitting a target at those ranges. So yeah, it's worth it. Not a bad one there. You're just hovering out at range and trying to stay in and out of the way. So that is the Snow Fox. Interesting mech. It's a little better time goes, but more expensive in battle value. So if you're looking for something to fill a hole with a few battle value, you know, like 600, you know, you got a little bit to spare, yeah, you might consider using one of these things and keeping it at medium and long range of that ER medium laser. So don't close with it. unless you're facing off against battle armor, and stay away enough that they don't jump on you. You don't want that. Yeah, and then it's stop, drop, and roll, and hope that they don't tear you to pieces. All right, so that's it. That's the Snow Fox. Hope you guys like it. Like and subscribe, share with your friends, and we'll see you in the next one. Elkrix out.